I flew 24 hours from Europe for Thanksgiving, showed up with almond croissants for my mom, and my dad opened the door and said, "We thought this would be a wonderful day. Why did you come?" My sister leaned back and added, "You haven't earned a seat at this table." So I nodded, said cool, and decided to stop paying for their lives. I'm Jeff, 33, the older kid who moved away. I booked that flight because I wanted one normal holiday, Turkey. A few hours where nobody needed anything from me. The family chat stayed silent while I traveled. I still arrived with gifts because that's my reflex. Dad scanned me like I was a delivery mistake. Mom's smile was tight. Growing up, money was religion. My sister got investments and applause. I got a real job. So I worked, built things at night, and paid my own bills early. When I left the country, I thought distance would stop the family rules. It just made them easier to enforce over text. At first, I sent help because I could. Tires, medical bills, temporary support for my sister that turned permanent. Then it went automatic. Mortgage, my niece's daycare, my sister's credit card that forwarded statements to my email. "We're proud of you," Mom would say. Proud meant they had my routing number. I tried to draw tiny lines. Emergencies only. I needed conference clothes, my sister said. Mom called. Be supportive. So I paid. Again. Looking back, that's when I realized generosity had become a leash. By this November, the tone had shifted. "Can you help?" became, "You'll cover this." If I didn't answer fast, Dad would drop a thumbs down in the chat like I was failing a class. One Thanksgiving on Zoom, my sister joked, "Jeff's our family ATM." Everyone laughed. I muted myself and wondered when I became useful instead of loved. I asked early if they wanted me home. Mom said, "It's up to you." Dad said nothing. My sister said, "Seats will be tight." I booked anyway, because I still believed being there in person would change the math. In the kitchen, Dad did his manager voice. "This is a family day. We don't need drama." My sister folded a napkin like she was on TV. "You always decide, then inform us." I said, "I told you I was coming." Dad gestured toward the dining room. "You weren't in the plan." Mom's phone lit up on the counter. She grabbed it too late. I saw one message flash. "If he shows up, we stick to the seating chart." Then everything went slow. My sister's chair scraped back, loud and sharp. Dad didn't step aside, just watched. The football game kept yelling in the next room. The croissant bag warmed my palms, stupidly hopeful. My suitcase bumped my shin again, like a nudge. My sister said, "You haven't earned a seat here." I said, "Okay," and my voice stayed steady. I looked at Dad. "You know I've been paying your mortgage." Silence. Mom's head snapped up. My sister's face twitched. Dad tried. "No one asked you to." I laughed once. "You ask every month." I opened my banking app right there. Toggle. Confirm. Mortgage. Off. Daycare. Off. Family safety net. Off. My sister's card. Inactive. I screenshotted it because I knew the rewrite was coming. Mom hissed. "Not today." "Exactly," I said. "Not today. Not anymore." Dad stepped closer. "Careful." "Careful of what?" I asked. Me saying no? I left without slamming a door. I just picked up my bags and walked out like I'd finally remembered I had legs. At 2:05, Mom texted, "Where are you?" "Dad, you're being dramatic." My sister, "Grow up. People are asking." I sent one message. "I'm safe. You made it clear I wasn't welcome. Payments are paused until we have an adult conversation with boundaries and timelines. Do not call me until tomorrow." Then I left the chat. Dad called anyway, 3 times. I let it ring. The next morning, he sounded tired. I shouldn't have said that. "Yeah," I said. "We counted on you," he admitted. "That's the problem," I told him. "You counted without asking what I could afford." We met the next day at the kitchen table with coffee and receipts. I brought statements. He brought a pen. We wrote rules. What ends? What caps? What needs receipts? My sister texted from upstairs, "You're cruel." I didn't answer. Before I left, Mom touched my sleeve and whispered, "We were unkind." "You were," I said. "We're trying. Try harder." 2 days later, I flew back to Europe. The first of the month came and my banking app was clean. No family lines quietly draining in the background. The quiet felt like a new apartment echoey, and mine. I still love them, but love isn't a subscription, and my seat at any table isn't earned by wire transfers. What would you have done if your own family treated you like their ATM? Tell me in the comments.